Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brendan from Best Life Weight Loss. And if you saw today's short, you know that today's bike vlog, I want to talk about just calories in versus calories out. Kind of, if you've seen, I've had a video on this topic. And this one, I just want to kind of talk about when to start tracking your calories. And initially, calories in versus calories out is going to be your end-all, be-all to your weight loss journey for the most part. It's really something that makes the biggest difference. And, with that being said, I don't think that's the first thing you should do. If you've been following the channel, you know that I think the first thing that you should do is pick your cardio. Find out what cardio you want to do. I feel like cardio is the best form of just extreme weight loss. Cardio is something that's going to help your brain, your blood oxygen levels, your overall quality of life will improve just by adding cardio. So obviously, make your routine, pick your cardio, but you need to pick your cardio and start doing it. Get used to it. I'm not saying to not, when I say to track your calories, I'm saying that you need to look at every single piece of food, drink, whatever you consume, and weigh that in what you're burning. So I would say, there's no real, the time frames I give you guys, it all comes down to how you feel, how it works for you. I would say start tracking your calories maybe 2 months into your cardio. When you really start to feel like, oh man, I'm getting the groove in it. I'm getting used to doing this over and over again. You need to start, I feel like, calories in versus calories out is going to be your mainstay. That's just how fat loss works. The more calories you burn, the less calories you consume, the more weight loss will happen. But to get to that point where you're consistently doing your cardio, your exercise, I feel is more important than getting the diet right first. I want you to have a sustainable journey of weight loss. And I feel like get used to the exercise, get that going, 2 to 3 months of pure exercise, and then you get your diet going. Now, your diet is going to be something that you figure out for yourself. How much meat, vegetables, carbs you want, how many times a day you're eating. You have to figure out that schedule for yourself. But one thing I want you to start doing, and there's a million different apps you can use for tracking calories. There's apps that you can put food in and it'll tell you the calories. Now, those might not always be accurate. That's why, I preach cooking your own food. When you cook your own food, you look at the labels. One thing I started with was a journal. I had just like a composition notebook that I still have. And, I don't know anything about macros or anything like that. All I was doing with that composition notebook was writing down, rice, 220 calories. The ground beef that I'm using, it's 35 grams of protein a serving. It's things like that I was just writing in the book. And I was just kind of getting a flow chart of my food. And then one major thing you want to do is you want to know how many calories you're burning. So on the bike, it gives me a rough estimate when I'm done of how many calories I burned. Then I use Google and I add in my push-ups, I'm sure there's an app for that, but Google calculate all that shit for you. Now, it's going to be subjective. Might not be, you might be off a couple of calories here and there. But you want to kind of establish your baseline of, hey, I'm burning 1,000 calories when I do this workout. See, one thing I don't know is my resting burning. When you're not exercising, but you're not consuming, you are kind of burning some kind of calories, especially if you're moving at all, So there's that extra aspect in there, but I don't count that. I look at how much calories I'm burning in my workout. I write that down. And then when I first started, my goal was 200 calories. My goal was to be in a 200 calorie deficit. Now I'm in about a 400 calorie deficit. And obviously it's not always the same for me. You know, if you've watched my videos, you know I've talked about binge eating and snacking and cheating on your diet. And it happens, you know. I try and stay in a 400 calorie deficit every day. There might be that day on Wednesday where I fucking consume 500 calories. And it sucks. And it sets me back. But it doesn't stop me. And it doesn't discourage me from continuing on. So basically, you know, when you're deciding your diet plan out, try and figure out the calories. So say, okay, I'm burning 1,200 on this workout. I'm consuming 850 with this meal. And then if you add in an orange, you know, you can Google, hey, now, you know, you don't know the weight of the food or the fruit or the vegetable. If you weigh it, then you Google it, you know, little food scale, 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. And that way you can, when you Google your food, your banana, your apple, you get a more accurate representation of the calories of each item at that point. You know, fruits and some meats don't have the labeling on them for calories and all that stuff. So if you can get the weight of the item, Google will help you get the calories. Write that down and track that every day. And and then correlate that with a scale. You know, you're using a scale for yourself. And then you can kind of see how accurate the calories compared to weight loss, you know, pounds losing is. And then you're gonna tailor your diet to, you know, not only what different calories, you know, oh, maybe less, maybe more workout, but you're gonna wanna start to incorporate different foods. One thing I learned was that if your diet gets stale, if you're trying to eat the same exact things every single week, it's just not sustainable. Now, when you look at, maybe I'll pull out the composition book one day and I'll show you guys, but it's just full of different foods now. So eventually I got to a point where I go and buy it, I know the calories, and I know, hey, this is how much I'm consuming, this is what I'm burning. Now, I still track my calories to this day because it helps in the social aspect of life as well. Say you get invited to go hang out and, you know, it doesn't fit in your diet to go to this restaurant you're going to. And you know it's on this day. You can have a smaller meal so you know, oh, okay, instead of consuming this much for this meal, I'm gonna consume this much. I'm gonna still do my workout, I'm gonna go hang out. When you go hang out, just order something good, meat, vegetables, whatever. The restaurant, depending on the restaurant, they'll tell you the calories. You just gotta ask. So you wanna, you know, you will know now. So say you go over your limit. So the next day you write down, you know, oh, that meal was 600 calories, it was supposed to be 400. You can allocate just more of time. When you go to exercise, add an extra 10, 20 minutes. Get that extra burn. Consuming a couple more calories is not gonna stop your journey. As long as every other day you're staying consistent on it, you're doing the calories in versus calories out, you're burning that calories, you're gonna lose the weight. But tracking everything that you eat, at first it seems tedious, like, oh, I gotta track every single thing. But it's amazing how far knowing what not only how much calories you're putting in, but what it's made out of really changes the aspect of your weight loss journey. You know, I'm never gonna not say it, calories in versus calories out. You could eat Big Macs and Domino's pizza all day, every day. And as long as you're burning more calories than you're consuming, you will succeed on your journey. Now, the reason I have another video, processed food versus natural foods. The reason for that video, if you didn't watch it, was saying how more sustainable for me it is to eat smaller amounts of natural food stay fuller longer over time than eating processed foods that are high in fats and sugars and delicious. And if you know me, you know I'm making my natural food. I try and make it as delicious as I can. I don't skimp on no seasoning, you know? And that's part of that sustainability that I try and strive for. If you don't like the diet, it's not sustainable. But I know you guys are probably getting tired of hearing about calories in versus calories out, but it's so important. I hope this helps somebody, and I hope you start your weight loss journey today. Stay positive.